our leaders' wisdom and guidance. We are afraid of another Yolanda and Undoy. Please guide our mayors to act now and prepare to face the impacts of climate change.
Dear Lord, our mayors, parents, teachers, and atas and kuyas are our role models.
We wanted to be like them.
Remind us always of our responsibility as we cherish and share your gift and love with each other.
This we pray in your most holy name.
Amen.
Magiliw, pelas ng silanganan, hanap ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupit, di ka pasisihil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw na lumanan at ipagsinta, buhay ay langis sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pang may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
You may now take your seats. Isang makalikasang umaga po sa ating lahat. Good morning! Batiin naman po natin ating mga katabi. We're in for a long day. Might as well get to know the people that we shall be seating with for the next 8 hours. I am Catherine Untalan Vital, a fellow human being who needs air and water to survive. Therefore, I am equally vulnerable to what we call climate change. And I'll be your host this morning. Today is the second day of the celebration of the National Climate Change Consciousness Week 2013. Yesterday, we had an eventful celebration participated in by children and the youth who have their inputs and active involvement have shown their creativity and willingness to take positive action towards climate change adaptation and mitigation. The Climate Change Commission spearheads this annual event and uses this as a platform to exchange ideas and share best practices on climate change adaptation and mitigation. This year, we are posing this challenge to empower our communities and local leaders to make informed decisions in order to create a world that is livable for our kids and grandkids. This year's theme, I Plan, I Act, seeks to address this challenge. I Plan, I Act focuses on key climate information that our main frontliners need to know in order to equip ourselves when addressing climate change impacts such as stronger typhoons, prolonged drought, and the creeping sea level rise. And today we have interesting presentations for you and discussions as well. We have invited speakers who will share best practices and discuss topics covering the whole spectrum of disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation actions, from information to planning to taking action to budgeting and to networking, all done at the local level. Now, are you all ready to engage and keep up with the challenge of the changing climate? Nako, kulang. Are you ready to learn more about climate change and what we can do? Perfect. So I will not keep you waiting, for this will be a very exciting day for all of us. May we call on the Vice Chairperson of the Climate Change Commission, Secretary Marianne Lucille L. Sering, to introduce our keynote speaker.
Starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I have been aware of what's going on
for too long. I've come and gone.
It's my honor and privilege to introduce to you the Honorable Jejomar C. Binay, Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines.
Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I have been aware of what's going on
For too long, I've come and gone. It's time to right a wrong.
Please take your seat. Thank you for the introduction, Honorable Lucille Sering, Secretary, Climate Change Commission. Honorable Harrison Alvarez, Commissioner, Climate Change Commission. Honorable Felix Marinas Jr., President, Natural Resources Development Corporation. Honorable Annalisa Te, Undersecretary of DNR. Honorable Emmanuel Duok, Commissioner, Insurance Commission. Honorable Norman Cojucom, Acting Vice President of the Philippine Corporation Insurance Corporation. Honorable Sol Matugas, Governor of Surigao del Norte, and other local government officials from the Philippine government. To the Organizing Committee of the Climate Change Consciousness Week for 2013, fellow public servants, friends from media, other distinguished and foreign guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to everyone. I thank the Climate Change Commission for organizing this summit and bringing all of us together to respond with one voice to a most pressing call. We are all keenly aware that the dangers posed by global warming are indeed real. But I think we can all agree that we wished our gathering was not heralded by the very threats it seeks to address. In the past weeks, we have come to view the name Yolanda in a different light. The super typhoon that bore this name was unlike any other that modern man has had to endure. Sustained winds of 270 kilometers per hour, gusts of up to 312 kilometers per hour, and a storm surge as high as 7 meters, unleashed a devastation of appalling proportions. It laid to waste everything along its path. Houses and buildings were torn down, trees were uprooted, and the lives of so many people took the most unfortunate of turns. We cannot begin to realize the depths of the human suffering left in the wake of Yolanda. Even as television showed us the survivors who continue to look for their loved ones amidst the rubble, and the dead that lay along roadsides and wreckage. The toll Yolanda exacted is beyond what any heart can bear. For to lose one Filipino is already too great a cost. To see thousands perish unleashes the endless tears of the entire Filipino nation. We grieve and continue to do so. But our sorrow cannot impede our sacred fraternal duty to bring aid to those who survived this apocalypse and remain in urgent need of help. Our government has mobilized its resources to extend relief and rehabilitation efforts to the affected provinces of Palawan, Aklan, Capiz, Iloilo, Cebu, and most especially the provinces of Samar and Leyte. We realized that the pace of efforts could be better and faster, and fortunately, we have not had to stand alone during these trying weeks. Help from other countries continues to pour in. We cannot begin to express our gratitude to the friends who have rushed to our aid when we most needed it. With each day, more food packages are unloaded from ships and cargo planes and delivered to more and more victims. A swelling mass of medical personnel attend to the wounded and sick. Increasing amounts of heavy equipment are being employed to clear roads of debris and other obstacles. We are moving as fast as time and motion allow, and we continue to seek ways to render our relief efforts more efficient. And as we slowly try to rise from this harsh ordeal, we must now look forward and plan how we can avoid or prevent such unspeakable losses from happening again. Many say that Yolanda's strength is a direct consequence of global warming. Scientific experts explain that it was the rising sea temperature that gave fuel to the energy that it unleashed on the ground. The immediate questions before us are how we can prevent or abate global warming and how we can address the destructive impact of climate change. The quest to answer these questions is what sees all of us converge at this very summit today. This week also marks our observance of Global Warming and Climate Change Consciousness Week, as mandated by Proclamation 1667 issued on November 2008. The proclamation tasked the Climate Change Commission to spearhead this annual observance and enjoined all government agencies and instrumentalities, as well as the private sector and other stakeholders, to undertake or collaborate in various activities that will address the impact of climate change. And therefore, to this end, the national government has crafted the National Climate Change Action Plan, or NCCAP, in accordance with the National Strategic Framework on Climate Change, to serve as our roadmap in combating this threat. However, this is merely a good beginning that demands an even better measure of implementation. And for this reason, while we need to plan in accordance with the NCCAP, it is more important that we act decisively and compellingly. Our plans cannot be crafted with merely the broadest of strokes. It is vital that they be distilled to consider the intricacies and peculiarities of the various communities if they are to be truly responsive and resilient. A thorough degree of local planning will ensure that we are better prepared for whatever nature may send our way. This duty is enshrined in law. The Climate Change Act of 2009, as amended by the People's Survival Fund Law, mandates our local governments to prepare their own local climate change action plans. And therefore, fully aware that not all local government units will have the expertise needed to complete the crucial requirement, the Climate Change Commission exists to provide needed technical assistance to formulate local climate change action plans. It is my understanding that the Commission has already started working with some local government units with very good results obtained, and I trust that all of you will soon have your own plans finalized and implemented. This summit is also one of our most effective forums for different stakeholders to share their initiatives, experiences, and best practices in addressing the realities and consequences of climate change. This morning, under the battle cry of I Plan, I Act, around 1,000 leaders and climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction practitioners from the local level are here to share their experiences in planning and implementation of programs towards realizing climate-resilient communities. Today we shall hear not just sound theories, but more importantly, real successes of local government units and communities in terms of planning and acting, given the tools, methodologies, and resources available. In the strongest terms possible, I encourage and implore you to take full advantage of this particular opportunity. Learn as much as you can about how you can better prepare your community and our people against the ravages of nature that stand to grow fiercer in the coming years. Use every bit of wisdom you can take away from this summit to forge local climate change action plans that will build on your strengths and allow you to build more capabilities with the passage of time. This is not just about the environment or our desire to inhabit a clean and tranquil planet. It is about the lives of our countrymen, our children, and our grandchildren. It is the future of our posterity and the whole of humanity that lies in the balance. We come together as one, and I sincerely pray that when this summit concludes, we shall move and act in unity. We cannot stop storms, but from traveling through our land. But if we faithfully discharge our duties, we can ensure that fewer families are claimed by the four winds. We have already taken the first noble step. Let us see this journey to its timely conclusion. I thank all of you for being here, and I look forward to seeing your hands reshape our communities. Mabuhay po ang mahal nating Pilipinas. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you very much, Vice President Jejomar C. Binay. At this point, I'd like to invite Secretary Lucille Sering to give our token of appreciation to the Vice President. I'd also like to invite our friends from Regions 1 to 3 to please stand by stage left so that we can proceed with the photo ops afterwards. Thank you.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together.
Thank you very much.
You and I. We can be the difference if we only try.
We'd also like to invite Commissioner Harrison Alvarez on stage for the photo op. Undersecretary Annalisa Te, the DNR. Assistant Secretary Joycelyn Go. Goko.
Stand, I speak of truth, a simple plan.
Show the world that we really care. The time is now. The waiting stops here.
What is hour of night? Turn off your lights.
A symbol that I can change.
All right, can I invite our friends from Region 1, please? Region 1.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. If we try, we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I.
Thank you very much. Now our friends from Region 2, please. Regions 4 and 5, please stand by.
Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I have been aware of what's going on.
For too long, I've come and gone. It's time to right a wrong.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try, 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 try. Go and make it known.
Thank you very much, Region 2. Now Region 3.
Carrying faith, hope, and love.
Search within your heart, oh yeah.
I will play my part.
Keep moving till we're there. We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. Against our fate, we make a stand. I speak of truth, a simple plan.
Show the world that we really care. The time is now. The waiting stops here.
For this hour of night, turn off your lights.
A symbol that I can change on the inside.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. If we try, give it a try. 'Cause we're in.
Thank you very much, Region 3. Now let's make way for Calabarzon.
We can be the difference if we only try, 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 try. If we try,
Calabarzon.
we only try, 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 try. If we try.
Makibahagi sa Earth Hour, Sabado, March 27, 8:30 p.m. to 9.
Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I have been aware of what's going on.
For too long, I've come and gone. It's time to right a wrong.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try, 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 try. Go and make it known. Enough with the words, you're better seen than
Thank you very much, Calabarzon.
Carrying faith, hope, and love.
Okay, we'll do Calabarzon Group 2. There's more.
within your heart, oh yeah.
I will play my part.
Keep moving till we're there.
Thank you very much po.
Much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. Against our fate, we make a stand. I speak of truth, a simple plan.
Show the world that we really care. The time is now, the waiting stops here.
What is hour of night? Turn off your lights.
A symbol that I can change on the inside.
We can make this world much better.
Thank you very much, Calabarzon. Now let's have Mi Maropa.
Give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. If we try, give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try.
Please stand by, Region 5.
We only try, if we try. Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I have been aware of.
Thank you very much, Mi Maropa. Next we have Region 5.
I've come and gone.
Region 6, 7, 8. Please stand by. Can we also have Region 9 on standby, please? Region 9.
Give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. Go and make it known, enough with the words, you're better seen than just heard.
Carrying faith, hope, and love.
Search within your heart, oh yeah.
I will play my part.
Keep moving till we're there. We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. Against our fate, we make a stand. I speak of truth, a simple plan.
Show the world.
Thank you very much. Now we'll have Region 6.
Waiting stops here.
What is hour of night? Turn off your
Region
lights.
6.
Symbol that I can change on the inside.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I.
Those who are done with their photo ops, you may now have your snacks. And maybe if you have some more time while we're doing the photo ops, you can visit the different exhibits that we have on the different initiatives of the Climate Change Commission in partnership with different organizations.
We can be the difference if we only try. If we try, we only try. If we try. Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself.
Thank you very much. Now we'll have Region 7.
I have been aware of what's going on.
For too long, I've come and gone. It's time to right a wrong.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we we give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try, 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 try.
Thank you very much, Region 7. Now we have Region 8.
Enough with the words, you're better seen than just heard.
Please stand by, Region 10, 11, 12, and 13. Please stand by now.
Search within your heart, oh yeah.
I will play my part.
Keep moving till we're there. We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I.
Thank you very much. Now we have Region 9.
We can be the difference if we only try. Against our fate, we make a stand. I speak of truth, a simple plan.
Show the world that we really care. The time
Once
is
again,
now. The
please
waiting
stand
stops.
by.
What is our night?
Regions
Turn
10,
off your
11,
Simple
12,
that I
and
can
13.
On the inside.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I.
Thank you very much. Now we'll have Region 10.
We can be the difference if we only try. If we try, give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try, 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 try. If we try, we only try, try, try. If we try.
Maki
Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I have been aware of what's
Thank you very
going
much. Now we'll have
on.
Region 11.
Not too long. I've come and gone. It's time to right a wrong.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together.
This is Region 11.
You and I. We can be the difference if we only try, 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 try.
Thank you very much. Now let's have Region 12.
Go and
Please
make
stand
it
by.
known.
Regions
Enough with
13,
the words, you're better seen
ARMM,
Carrying faith, hope,
CAR, and NCR.
Search within your heart, oh yeah.
I will play my part.
Keep moving till we're there. We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try, 'cause we're in.
Thank you very much. Now we'll have Region 13.
You and I.
Region 13. 13.
We can be the
Region 13.
we only try. Against our fate, we make a stand. I speak of truth, a simple plan.
Show the world that we really care. The time is now. The waiting stops
What
here.
is our night? Turn off your lights.
A symbol that I can change. On the inside.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try, 'cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference.
Thank you very much, Region 13. Now let's have ARMM.
We only try. If we try.
Makibahagi sa Earth Hour, Sabado, March 27 to 9:30 p.m.
Last shout out to our friends from ARMM.
Starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself.
Thank you very much. Now we'll have our friends from CAR.
For too long, I've come and gone. It's time to right a wrong.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try.
Thank you. Now we have NCR.
Go and make it known. Enough with the words, you're better seen than just heard.
Carrying faith, hope, and love.
NCR.
In your heart, oh yeah.
Next we'll have our development partners.
Keep moving till we're there. We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. Against our fate, we make a stand. I speak of truth, a simple plan.
Show the world that we really care. The time is now. The waiting stops here.
For this hour of night, turn off your lights.
A symbol that I can change on the inside.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together.
Thank you very much, NCR.
We can be the difference.
Now we'll have the Academe.
We only if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. If we try. We only try. If we try.
Makibahagi sa Earth.
We'd like to invite our development partners to please join us here. Your group is next.
That I care more than myself. I have been aware of what's going on.
For too long, I've come and gone. It's time to right a wrong.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this
And for our last photo, we'd like to invite our development partners and members of the Climate Change Commission. Please stand by now.
We can be the difference if we only try. Go
Thank you very much.
make
Now our
it
development
known.
partners.
Enough with the words, you're better seen than just heard.
Carrying faith, hope, and
We'd like to invite our development partners. Please join us here on stage.
Search within your heart, oh yeah.
I will play my part.
Keep moving till we're there. We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together.
Thank you very much to our development partners. Now we have the Climate Change Commission.
We can be the difference if we only try. Against our fate, we make a stand. I speak of truth, a simple plan.
Show the world that we really care. The time is now. The waiting stops
What
here.
is our night? Turn off your lights.
A symbol that I can change on the inside.
We can make this world much better. We can do it if we give it a try. 'Cause we're in this thing together, you and I. We can be the difference if we only try. If we try.
Thank you very much.
Give it a try. 'Cause we're in
Asset Coco, Commissioner Alvarez, Vice President Jejomar Binay, Secretary Lucille Sering, and Yusek Annalisate. Thank you very much po.
If we try, we only try. If we try.
Makibahag.
Change starts with me.
And now, salubungin po natin ng masigabong palakpakan, Mr. Noel Cabangon!
Magandang umaga po. It's an honor to be part of this summit on climate change, and it's very timely, and also it poses a lot of challenge to us. Climate change is here to stay. Wala na po tayong magagawa doon, kundi we help in mitigation and adaptation. Meron pong isang salawikain sa English na sinasabing you can run but you cannot hide. Parang ganun na nga po yung nangyayari from what we have experienced the past week with Yolanda. Marami po sa atin mga kababayan ng binawian ng buhay because of the impact of the typhoon. Anyway, I want to share with you a song I wrote. It's about global warming and climate change. This one, I wrote it in 2007 after experiencing a snowstorm somewhere in England at the time when snow is not anymore, should not been happening, supposed to be. So ito po, pamagat po nito ay umuulan sa tag-araw, umaaraw sa tagulan. So it's about a confused weather pattern. Nagbabago na ang panahon, di na katulad noon. Litong-lito na ang mundo, panahoy pagbago-bago, umuulan sa tag-araw, umaaraw sa tag-ulan. Sobrang lamig sa taglamig, sobrang init sa tag-init. Ang klima ay nag-iiba, ang daigdig ay umiinit na. Kumakapal na ang usok
sa papawirin. Hirap ng huminga ang daigdig. O Diyos ko, katapusan na nga ba ng mundo? O Diyos ko, saan na kaya magtatago? O Diyos ko, maglalaho na nga ba ang mundo? O Diyos ko, pigilan ang pag-init ng mundo. O Diyos ko, naranasan na natin ang mga mararahas na bagyo. Nasaksihan na natin ang mga buhawid, ipo-ipo. Labis kung bumuhos ang ulan, labis kung uminit ang araw. Umahaba ang tag-init, umiikli ang tagulan. Ang klima ay paiba-iba, ang daigdig ay umiinit na. At sa magkabilang polo ng mundo, nagtitibag ng malalaking tipak ng mga yelo. O Diyos ko, katapusan na nga ba ng mundo? O Diyos ko, saan na kaya magtatago? O Diyos ko, maglalaho na nga ba ang mundo? O Diyos ko, katapusan na nga ba ng mundo? O Diyos ko, saan na kaya magtatago? O Diyos ko, maglalaho na nga ba ang mundo? O Diyos ko, pigilan ang pag-init ng mundo. O Diyos ko,
Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Noel Cabangon. Sana po habang pinaikinggan niyo yung kanta kanina ni Noel, that you're also reading the different statistics flashing on the screen. And we do not want you to forget. Alam niyo po, several years ago when I started my personal advocacy on the environment, a lot of people are saying that climate change is a myth. Somebody even actually claimed that climate change is just a business strategy to sell some products. And even before I was about to rebut that and refute what they're saying, different environment or natural disasters have been doing the argument for me. Ondoy, Pablo, and now Yolanda. You know, when Ondoy happened, I was just on my way back to Manila. I was arguing with this German guy because he said, "Oh my gosh, they say it's flooded in Manila." And I said, "Manila? It never gets flooded. You don't have to worry about that." And lo and behold, after 6 hours inside the airplane because we wouldn't be allowed to go out, it was a horrifying sight to see the airport with no electricity, the roads around the airport with people all over. We had to pass by several routes just to make our way back to Quezon City. And of course, the story of Marikina is a different story. It's a different picture in itself. And now recently, Yolanda. Ito po yung iba't ibang pangyayari sa ating buhay na dapat wag nating makalimutan. And being members of the local government units and organizations, we have the responsibility to take action and be proactive in our everyday lives. Climate scientists concur that global climate change is happening and will gain strength in the coming decades, requiring immediate action to prevent further warming and to adapt to its impacts. The Philippines is already experiencing and will continue to experience such impacts. For one, the country's geographical location. The Philippines lies along the Ring of Fire with a number of active volcanoes and within the path of storms originating from the Pacific Ocean. That increases the vulnerability of many areas and people in various parts of the country. Given these vulnerabilities, the only way to go is to plan sustainably and act strategically. And to provide us with the rationale of our summit today, I'd like to call on Secretary Marianne Lucille L. Sering, the Vice Chairperson of the Climate Change Commission Philippines.
Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I
Magandang umaga po. Mayong buntag. Salamat kaayo. Unahon sa nako ako mga kababayan sa Surigao, Labi. O sa ating mga Pilipino, inuulit ko po, magandang umaga. Laki ang pasasalamat ko dahil nakita ko kung gaano karami ang dumating at dumalo ngayon. At I have to make special mention to Secretary Mar Rojas, was supportive of this event, who issued a memorandum. And I guess that's the reason I see a lot of attendance here. Other than that, we know that we cannot cancel this event. We planned this before Yolanda. Because we've seen how many local government units have already done, and the best practices that you've already done, and we wanted to show it not only to your constituencies, but also to the other local governments who probably need a lot of learning as well. From this gathering, we hope you'll be able to network, because this is all about learning from each other. We know what's applicable in Albay might not necessarily be applicable in Surigao. What's applicable in Tarlac might not necessarily be applicable in Sulu. That's why we cannot be talking to just one LGU and think that whatever we come up to enhance our plans would be applicable to everybody else. That's why our theme today is local voice, empowered choice. At the end of the day, we at the national government don't have the right to say that we know better. At the end of the day, it's the local government choices that defines you. The national government support must be targeted to the needs of the local government, so that what we will be supporting is what really you need. Why do we need to plan? Yung why plan, why act. Kung sa Bisaya po yan, why plano, why acto. But I just have to make clear that this is in English, that this is not Bisaya, that what we're talking is there's really a plan and we need to act. What we've seen in some of our plans that we've went around the country ay nagbabase pa rin po dun sa mga insidente or insidente na nangyayari sa nakaraan. Nakita natin ang Yolanda na maaaring yung paghahanda ninyo ay hindi na kakayanin ang mga ganitong kalakas na bagyo. Handa tayo sa signal number 1, maaaring handa sa signal number 2, maaaring handa sa signal number 3, pero maaaring hindi handa sa signal number 4 na kansel lakas ng Yolanda. Alam natin yung nakita nating kahirapan sa Tacloban, pero hindi ito rason para mangamba. Hindi rin ito rason para matakot. Nandito tayo ngayon para alamin kung saan ba, kung meron mang pagkakamali, at gumawa ng tamang paraan para ayusin ito at para mapaghandaan ang susunod pang panahon. Laki ho ulit ang aking pagsasalamat dahil alam ko that ang local government, kahit anumang sabihin nila, ay siya pa rin dapat mangunguna sa lahat ng bagay dahil kayo mismo ang nakakaalam kung anong kailangan ninyo. Kaya kailangan tayo magplano. Lalo na po sa inyong land use plans. Karamihan po ng aming nakita ay nagbabase pa rin doon sa nakaraan na mga vulnerabilities. Karamihan po sa inyo, nakita namin, walang vulnerability assessment. Ibig sabihin, bawat programa na sinasabi niyong pagtutugon sa pagbabago ng klima ay maaaring hindi sang-ayon sa mga susunod na panahon. Dahil kung wala kayong assessment, wala po kayong basis to plan based on that scenario. Yung pong nakikita ninyo dyan, ginawa namin ito kasamang HLURB. Gumawa na ang HLURB ng mainstreaming of guidelines. Dahil ginawa namin ang Siargao at ilang pang mga napiling local governments naging pilot, ang Caraga region po ng HLURB ay isa sa mga rehiyon na unang nagpasa ng guidelines on mainstreaming climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction in their local plans. Dahil dito, kung ang pagpaplano ay base dun sa tingin ninyong risk, madali na po natin ilako ang inyong mga plano, hindi lang ho tayo dapat taasa sa national government, kundi papasok na rin po ang ating mga pribadong sektor para mag-invest po sa inyo. Bukas po, ang ating summit is about the private sector. Yung mga beneficiaries po ng EcoTown, kung saan natapos na namin ang kanilang guidelines, pupunta po kami doon sa lugar nila para magkaroon ng investment forum, tingnan kung anong merong plano, tingnan kung nagsasang-ayon na ba ito doon sa disaster risk reduction or climate change adaptation, para mula po doon ay ang private sector ay mamumuhunan na dahil sa tingin nila ang pagbabago ng klima ay hindi lamang dahil sa disaster. Nagiging disaster lang po ito kung wala tayong gagawin. So ngayon na meron na tayong pagpaplano, meron na tayong template dyan, isa-isa po dyan, meron pag checklist, kompleto po yan, may scale model dyan, titingnan kung saan yung storm surge, bibigyan kayo ng geohazard map, papaintindi sa inyo yung multi-hazard map. Pag ito nagsama-sama, wala na pong rason para hindi natin kayang tugunan ang pagbabago ng klima. Ngayon po, wala nang plano-plano na lang. May mga planong pwede nang aktuhan, may mga planong pwedeng mag-intay, pero ang pagbabago ng klima po ay maaaring hindi na natin maitatanggi, kailangan na natin po siyang umpisahan, intindihin at tanggapin na ito na po ang new normal. So aking mga minamahal na local government officials, lalo na po yung mga planning officers, maraming salamat po ulit at sana po makinig kayo at may matutunan tayo ngayong sa isa't isa. Magandang umaga po ulit. Hindi alatang Bisaya.
Maraming salamat po. Alam niyo po, kasama rin po namin si Secretary last Sunday when we bike for the Tour of the Fireflies. The Tour of the Fireflies is an annual biking event where we bike. I think recently, the last event last Sunday, amassed around 6,000 bikers to promote clean air, and hopefully that can be replicated as well in your respective LGUs. There is no question that climate change is happening. In a recent survey by the World Bank, 8 out of 10 Filipinos claim to have experienced the impacts of climate change. In fact, the Philippines is included in the top 10 most vulnerable countries around the globe. But what does vulnerability mean? And how do we assess it? The main goal of vulnerability assessment is to understand the nature of threats and subsequently to use such understanding in formulating policies to avoid or mitigate the threats. In the context of climate change, the actions taken to lessen or prevent the threats from happening are called adaptation. But before we come up with measures to address the problem, we first need to understand it. And to show us how to map one's vulnerability, I'd like to call on Dr. Eric Paringit to share with us their efforts in identifying the exposure and sensitivities of Cagayan de Oro and other cities hit by Typhoon Sandong in 2011.
Starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I have been aware of what's going on.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Parang kagigising lang natin. Nandito po ako para i-present o ipakita sa inyo yung partnership na ginawa namin with the Climate Change Commission at ang mga partners natin sa Project Twin Phoenix in relation to flooding hazards. Nabanggit po ni Secretary Sering kanina na importanteng malaman natin ang ibig sabihin ng mga sakuna, o no? Mali yata yung sakuna, yung hazard, no? Sa case po nito, ipapakita po sa inyo ang naging resulta ng aming mga pag-aaral sa isang kilalang lugar, no? Saan ba? Doon. Ayun. Marami pong hindi masyadong naintindihan na ang sanhi po ng pagbabaha sa isang lugar ay ukol sa maraming bagay, no? Pero ang karaniwang pinagmumulan na ito ay ang mga malalakas na pagulan sa ating mga kabundukan. Siyempre, dumadalo yung tubig papunta sa ating mga kapatagan at siya nagdudulot ng mabilis, malakas, at matataas na antas o antas ng tubig, no? Mahalaga maintindihan natin na ang pagpaplano ng isang lugar ay hindi lamang siguro na uukol sa lugar lamang natin, no? Kundi pati na rin ng nasa paligid pa natin. No? Sa screen po makikita ninyo ang isang resulta ng aming flood hazard assessment ng Cagayan de Oro City. Makikita po natin dito na hindi naman lahat ng lugar sa ating bayan o sa ating syudad ay binabaha. No? May iba't ibang level, may iba't ibang paraan ng pagkakaagos, at may iba't ibang layo sa pagkadelikado. No? Pinapakita nito na halimbawa, makakapagtyaga naman siguro tayo sa bahang nasa kalingkingan lamang natin. No? Matitiis naman siguro natin yung hanggang bewang. No? Medyo lilikas na tayo pag lagpas tao. At dapat hindi na tinitirhan kapag kasing taas na ng ating bahay. Ganun po ang gusto naming mensahe na maiparating kung tayo ay nagpaplano ng ating mga lugar. Marami po kasi parang nagsasabi, buong bayan ng ganito, flood prone yan. Hindi naman po yun totoo. So, binibigyan tayo, yung mga ganitong klase ng impormasyon, binibigyan po tayo ng, sinasabi nga kanina ng ating slogan for this forum, no? Ng empowered choices. May choices po tayo kung paano natin tugunan, no, ang mga hamon ng kalikasan, lalong-lalo na po sa baha. No? Ano ba? Yan. So, maganda po rito, nakikita natin yung detalye. No? Hindi natin kailangan lisanin yung ating buong komunidad, kundi mabigyan lang naman natin itong ng sapat na kaalaman, no? Para tayo ay para natin ito ay mabigyan ng solusyon, no, sa iba't ibang parte. Siyempre, yung iniisip kagad ng iba, wala kaming perang gagamitin, no? Kasi mahal ang pagko-construct ng dike, paglalagay ng mga seawalls sa case ng storm surges, no? Pero meron din pong mga tinatawag na soft solutions, no? Siyempre, kabilang na dito yung pagsusona, kabilang na dito yung pagsiset aside ng lugar, no, tinatawag na flood zone, no? Na kung saan hayaan lang natin yung tubig na dumaloy sa ating lugar, no? Pero the rest of the community remains safe. So, yan. Nakikita natin dito, siyempre yung mismong daanan ng tubig, yung mismong ilog, yun talagang pinakabaha, yung pula, no? Makikita niyo kulay violet, siguro ito between 2 to 5 meters, no? So, may choice tayo. Ano bang gagawin natin dyan sa 2 to 5 meters na yan, no? At yung kulay yellow, no, or orange is between, I think, 1 to 2 meters. So, 1 to 2 meters, a flood that happens maybe, sabihin natin, minsan lamang sa isang taon, mapagtsatsagaan natin, no? Meron tayong pwedeng kaparaanan, pwedeng magtanim siguro ng mga crops na hindi masyadong mahal, no, in terms of investment. Nagkaroon din po kami ng comparison, no, dun sa mga nakagawa na nating mapa. Yun yung sinasabi natin na ito yung mga mapang hindi tayo pwedeng magkamali, hindi na tayo nagkakamali, no? Kasi halos lahat na ng buong Pilipinas ay hazard prone. Totoo naman 'yon, no? Ang kailangan lang na hindi naman din kasi pwede yung mensahe na kung buong Pilipinas ay hazard prone, hindi na tayo dito pwedeng tumira. Kundi tingnan natin alin ba yung mas delikado sa hindi, no? So, ang mga ganitong uri ng pagmamapa o ganitong uri ng pagbibigay ng impormasyon ay magbibigay din ng pag-asa, no? Sa mga ating mga komunidad, sa ating mga kanayunan, sa ating mga magsasaka, mangingisda, at iba pang mga parte ng ating mga bayan. Hindi yata under ito, pero I think when you enter the hall, you've already seen this animation. No? It shows a 3D rendering of our flood mapping efforts in, I think, Cagayan de Oro. We did this also likewise for Iligan, we're doing this almost for 18 major river systems in the country, no? And the others soon to follow. Medyo inuna lang namin to, alam niyo naman siguro yung kwento ng Ondoy, ay ng Sendong, no? Kaya medyo parang nauna sila ng konti. Pero unti-unti, one river system at a time. At ang mensahe po siguro gusto kong iparating dito is that kaisa po namin kayo kasi ito po yung kalahati lang ng ating trabaho. Nabanggit ni Secretary Sering kanina na bibigyan tayo ng mga geohazard maps, bibigyan tayo ng impormasyon kung ano yung ating susceptibilities, no, to certain types of hazards. Pero importante ring matugunan naman natin ito, no, ng equivalent na response. Ano bang gagawin natin given na ganito yung ating mga vulnerabilities? Di ba? So, mahalaga yon. At mahalaga rin na makita natin yung lugar natin. Every time I show this slide, especially to those people who are living in this community, the first thing that they will do is to find their places, no, their houses, where their schools are, where their places of work are, no? And so it's so engaging enough that it involves the community. It will steer the minds of those who are caring, no, who are concerned, and it provides a better understanding of our susceptibilities. So ganoon po yung gusto nating marating dito, no? Kasi ayaw nating parang i-kumpul-kumpul lang natin yung ating sarili sa pare-parehong estado na iba-iba naman pala, no? Ito po kapareho lang po nun sa Iligan, no? So makikita natin color-coded siya, mas madaling maintindihan kaysa kulay pula lahat yung buong komunidad, no? Marami pong, maliban po sa pagmamapa ng pagbaha, dinagdagan po namin ito ng aspeto ng climate change, no? Paano po, no? Sinabi namin na meron po na pong projection ng ating pag-asa, no, ng kung anong mangyayari sa klima natin in the next 10 years, in the next 30 years. At mula doon sa mga pagtataya na po yun na yun, ginamit namin yun para din mataya, no? Magkaroon din ng pagtataya hanggang saan naman aabutin ng ating mga pagbaha sa ating mga komunidad. So, pwede po nating sabihin na climate enhanced na rin yung ating yung iba sa ating mga hazard maps. Lalong-lalo na doon sa mga meteorological hazard maps. Sa example po nating pinakita sa inyo, ito po yung ating mga flood hazard maps. So, pangkaraniwan pong ginagamit itong mga flood hazard maps na ito, una, syempre sa pagpaplano ng tamang gamit, no? Hindi natin sinasabi na hindi na natin pwedeng gamitin ang mga lupang para lamang sana sa tubig, no? Pwede naman natin itong gamitin para sa pagsasaka. Iwanan natin. Pagdating ng gabi, bumalik tayo sa ating mga tahanan na ligtas, no? So ito yung tinatawag na differentiated land uses, di ba? Pwede naman ito maging lugar para sa recreation. Pwede naman po ito maging lugar para daanan ng tao, no? Pero pagdating po ng ibang usapan na po, ang pinag-uusapan ay mga settlements o places for housing. Gagamitin din po itong mga mapa na ito para naman plano naman ng tama ang ating mga engineers, ang ating mga designers ng tamang flood control, no? Kasi kung minsan ang impulse ng ating impulse natin, sige, maglagay na lang tayo ng dike. Sige, maglagay na lang tayo ng retaining wall. Sige, maglagay na lang tayo ng dam. Pero kung hindi natin naintindihan, baka mas lalo nating ikapapamahamak, no? Kasi magkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na false sense of security. So mahalaga na maintindihan natin gaano ba dapat kataas ang pagtatayo natin. At nakadepende yun kung gaano nga kataas din yung bahang pwede nating maranasan, no? So, magagamit itong mga impormasyon na nakalap natin at na-generate natin mula dun sa project sa mga ganitong mga pamamaraan. Yung pinakita ko pong flood map na yon, may dynamic na aspect po yun, o may dynamic na feature. Ang ibig pong sabihin nito, pwede natin makita yung flood in real time, no? Ginawa na namin ito sa Marikina, no? At Marikina, ginagawa na po namin ito sa Cagayan de Oro, sa Iligan, at iba pang mga piling lugar. So by the end of the year, we shall have completed the flood water level forecast. No? So ang ibig pong sabihin nito, magagamit na po ito para sa purpose ng early warning. So titingnan nyo po yung website, titingnan nyo kung anong oras darating yung mataas na tubig, at titingnan nyo kung yung taas ba ng tubig na yun ay sapat para ilikas nyo na yung mga komunidad. No? Ito po ay in partnership with the Hydromet System of the Department of Science and Technology. Nabanggit ko na po yung differentiated impacts on various areas will guide local actions. Kasi nga, na-realize namin na sa iba-ibang lugar na pinupuntahan natin, iba-iba yung inyong pangangailangan, iba-iba yung inyong mga concerns. No? Yung iba, mas concerned sa coastal flooding, yung iba, mas concerned sa riverine flooding, yung iba po, mas concerned sila sa flooding, gawa ng barado lang na drainage. No? So, nakikita natin na bawat isa ay hindi natin pwedeng ikahon, no? Sapagkat tayo at ang ating mga komunidad ay iba't iba. Pero marapat din na bigyan natin ng tamang sapat na panahon, no, para maintindihan din yung mga vulnerabilities natin. At nakikita ko na papunta tayo doon sa estado kung saan mas higit nating naintindihan ang ating paligid, dapat mas higit din nating mabibigyan ng kaparaanan kung paano din natin i-manage. No? Dati-dati, ginagamit pa natin yung term na control. No? How do we control our environment? Pero ngayon po, medyo nagiging soft tayo. Dapat kaakibat natin yung ating kalikasan. No? Hindi natin siya kalaban, kundi katuwang natin siya para sa pagpapaunlad ng ating pamayanan. Sana po magtulong-tulong tayo at magkita-kita tayo sa iba pang forum kagaya po nitong in-initiate ng Climate Change Commission para naman po higit nating maintindihan ang hazards natin, higit nating din maintindihan ang ating vulnerability at higit sa lahat tulong-tulong din tayo mag-isip ng kaparaanan kung paano naman natin tutuganan itong mga hamon na ito ng ating kalikasan. So, maraming salamat po sa Climate Change Commission sa pag-imbita. Magkita-kita po tayo sa inyong mga lugar. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Dr. Eric. Later on, magkakaroon po tayo ng pagkakataon magtanong pagtapos po ng lahat nating speakers for this morning session. Ngayon naman po, ay maririnig natin ang kwento and the sharing of experiences from a municipality who became one of the recipients of the support of the Global Green Growth Institute and Climate Change Commission in demonstrating the Ecotown framework. Please welcome Mayor Pai Alvarez of San Vicente, Palawan.
Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care. More than myself, I have been aware of what's going on.
For too long, I've come.
Hello, good morning po.
It's time to ride around.
Wow, parang wala pong gising dito. Good morning naman po sa inyong lahat. Ayan, parang hindi naman tayo sanay sa mga LGU. Kamusta naman po kayo ngayon? Okay naman. Gising po ba? Nakapagkape na po kayo? Hindi pa? Kuya, yung mga waiter ho, bigyan niyo pong kape yung mga naantok na. Kasi buong araw pa po kayo nandito at kailangan yung makinig. So kailangan, kung gusto niyo ng coffee, humingi na po kayo ng coffee. Sino po dito ang nakapunta na sa San Vicente? Hindi counted yung taga-munisipyo ko. Kayo talaga, pasaway. Sino po dito ang nakapunta na ng Palawan? Taas po ang mga dami. Sayang, kung meron kasi dito hindi pa nakakapunta, mag-i-invite ako. Nakapunta na pala kayo lahat eh. Meron pa bang hindi nakapunta ng Palawan? Konti. Okay, so ito po, para sa mga hindi pa nakakapunta ng Palawan, at sa gustong bumalik sa Palawan, makinig lang po kayo sa presentation. Hindi po siya ganun katagal, very specific po siya sa topic at Baka pag nasagot nyo yung tanong ko sa huli ng, pagtapos ng presentation, manalo kayo ng trip to Palawan, all expense paid, 3 days, 2 nights for 2. Icha-charge ko na lang yan sa mga munisipyo nyo. Okay, so, okay na ba kayo? Alright, so ako po si Pai. Ako nga ho ang mayor ng San Vicente. Yan po, Pai Alvarez po ang pangalan ko. Yan talaga yung itsura doon at mahilig po ako mag-picture-picture sa mga puno at sa mga bamboo. So, yan po ang ginagawa kong trabaho doon, hindi loko lang. Ayun, okay. So, alam niyo naman pong may buko pie, di ba? Nakatikim na po kayo ng buko pie? Masarap po ba yung buko pie? Siyempre, natikman niyo rin yung apple pie. Di ba? McDonald's, favorite ko yan. Pero huwag niyo naman kalimutan na meron ding mayor pie. Okay? So, huwag niyo pong kakalimutan ha. Hindi po Pia yung pangalan ko. Mayor Pie. Yun lang po yung tawag niyo sa akin. Pati sa LGU ko po, pati sa mga staff ko, I ask them to call me Mayor Pie. Ayoko na po ng formal or na super haba po ng pangalan dahil simple lang po akong tao and I just want to be called Mayor Pie. So now I would like to talk to you about Palawan. Sabi niyo nga po, ang dami niya na po sa inyong nakapunta doon. Yan nga ho, yung parang mahabang island dyan sa southwest ng Philippines. Palawan po has one city, Puerto Princesa, 23 municipalities, 432 barangays, and a population of 893,000. Almost 1 million na po. Doon naman tayo sa aming lugar, sa San Vicente. Ito po ang mapa ng San Vicente. Nakita nyo naman po, napakalawak niya. 10 barangay po ang aming sakop with a coastline of 165 kilometers. Yan po ang aming White Beach coastline. 165 kilometers, 30,000 residents, and 165,000 hectares naman po ang aming size. Napakalaki po. It's around 330,000 football fields put together. Sobrang laki ng San Vicente. At yan po naman ang itsura ng aming beach. Di ba po maganda? Gusto niyo pong bumisita? Okay, so makinig lang kayo. Sandali lang naman to. Ayun nga, yan ang that's actually called our long beach. It's 14.7 kilometers. And sunod-sunod po yan ang mga beach cove namin sa San Vicente. Super ganda at super lawak ng beach. And nakita nyo naman, yung sand po talaga ay maputi, pino, at yung tubig talagang tourist destination po ang bayan namin. And ito naman po ang picture ng forest. It's very important to me to show this sa lahat po sa inyo dahil marami pong nagsasabi na ang Palawan ay nakakalbo na and whatnot. But sa San Vicente po, out of our 165,000 hectares, 80+% pa po ang forest cover na ganyan. It's pristine, it's intact, and hindi po siya kalbo. So, napakaganda po, and it's a really, really beautiful area, especially for the eco-town framework and for ecotourism. So today po, I'm going to be talking about understanding sectoral vulnerability. Sabi nga po ni Secretary Sering kanina sa speech niya, kailangan po maintindihan natin what it means to be vulnerable and what we can do to prevent the aftermaths na hindi tayo prepared. Alam naman po natin kung ano yung nangyari sa bagyo na dumating, and there were so many provinces devastated by what happened. And the reason being is the Philippines, as an island country, we are really vulnerable. Especially po kami sa Palawan, island province. Sa San Vicente po, coastal town. Lahat po ng aming mga residente, if not most of them, nakatira po malapit sa dagat. So talagang ang vulnerabilities nandun. Kami nga, we're very lucky dahil napili kami sa San Vicente na maging eco-town. The partnership with the Climate Change Commission, pati na rin with the Green Growth Institute from Korea, have been really beneficial. I mean, marami po kami natututunan na capacity building, training, information sessions na we wouldn't have been able to been exposed to kung hindi kami natulungan ng Climate Change Commission. Okay. So, green growth. Palagi po natin yan naririnig ngayon. Ano ba yung green growth? Para po sa akin, yung green growth ay kapag nag-develop po tayo ng ating lugar, kailangan naman po lahat ng initiatives in terms of climate proofing, disaster preparedness, pati na rin sustainable development, naiisip natin. Gusto natin na yung lugar maging climate resilient. So para po sa amin sa San Vicente, with the 10 barangays, after this whole eco-town partnership is finished, we hope to achieve that each barangay is already sufficient on its own to climate-proof its area and to understand the vulnerabilities when it comes to natural disasters and climate change. Okay. So yan nga ho, hindi niyo po mabasa maliit. Starts po with the baseline information. So naggagawa po sila ng socio-economic profiling, they do assessments, they do research, they send consultants San Vicente, and then they take the data that they gather, and then gumagawa po sila ng mga studies and ng mga proposals kung ano po yung gagawin. And then doon po nila pinaprioritize kung ano po yung mga kailangan gawin for the first 1 to 2 years, and then following 10 to 20 years down the road. Because we want to make sure na climate proofing, it's not just for short-term preparedness, it's also for long-term. Maski po ako, hindi na po ako mayor doon, kailangan yung lugar po ng San Vicente at yung bayan po ng San Vicente ay protektado. And that's what climate proofing is all about. So how can we better cope with climate change? We need to understand po talaga kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng pagbabago ng klima. Kapag nagpunta po tayo sa mga barangay-barangay at kausapin po natin ang mga residente natin, hindi po silang lahat nakakaintindi kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng climate change. Di po ba? I mean, ako po yun ang experience ko. Pupunta po ako sa mga baryo, pupunta po ako sa mga iba-ibang sitio. Pagtanungin ko po yung mga residente namin, naiintindihan niyo po ba kung ano yung pagbabago ng klima? Most of them po, wala pong masagot. And that's the problem. Kailangan po natin ma-communicate. Dahil hindi na lang pwede, antay na lang tayo ng antay, na tatamaan tayo ng bagyo. Makikita natin yung devastation na out of this world, tas tsaka pa lang tayo mag-act. Kailangan po, preventative din tayo. Kailangan po may information. And I see all of you, you're nodding po your heads. Kasi sa lahat ng LGU po na nandito and you're present, I know ito rin po, alam ninyo, is a factor and it's a problem. It's really the information and being able to let your residents understand how critical this issue is. Adaptation is another way to cope with climate change. Kayo pong nandito ngayon, ang mga leaders. Kayo pong nandito ang mga gumagawa ng regulations and mga batas sa inyong mga bayan. So kung hindi po kayo stricto, ang masasaktan din po ay mga residente ninyo. So kailangan you have to enforce. Kailangan maintindihan po nila at nandun din kayo para to be a little bit more strict when it comes to enforcing climate change and climate-proofing actions. So yun nga ho, it's across all sectors. So don't think that climate change is only for the environment. Actually, lahat po yan affects each other, diba? Let's say I'll give you an example. Sa San Vicente, one of our main industries po is illegal fishing. Sino po sa mga LGU dito, yun din po ang main industry. Fishing. Meron? Wala? Wala kayo. Wala kayo sa dagat. Okay, so sa kami po, fishing. Illegal fishing is one of our industries. So, hindi lang po nila hinaharm yung coastal resources, pero pati yung kabuhayan nila. Pero hindi mo rin naman sila madadamay dahil gusto lang naman ng mga residente ay magka-livelihood, magtrabaho. Gusto lang nilang mapakain ng kanilang pamilya at makabili ng konting gamot. Yun lang naman ang ginagawa nila eh. So how does it play a factor? Kailangan kasi, tingnan mo, cross-sectoral yan eh. How does it play a factor? Kami naman sa LGU, pati yung Climate Change Commission, we really want to push for alternative livelihood programs. Bakit alternative livelihood? Dahil pag we are able to give any resident an opportunity to have a better job, to have a paying job, they're not going to illegally fish na eh. Bibigyan mo na kasi sila ng ibang option. So ginagawa po namin yan ngayon sa San Vicente at syempre, hindi po yan agad-agad maayos dahil it's a behavioral change. In the end, it's habit. Kung sanay na sila at ginagawa nila yan araw-araw, yun ang pinaka-mahirap at yun ang pinaka-challenging na to start new, diba? To start fresh. That's one of the most challenging things. So where do we want to start? How does climate change affect local development? As I said po kanina, talagang climate change, it's inevitable. Mangyayari po talaga yan, and we have to be here to be prepared and to act because it's happening. Information is so important, you know, the data gathering, socio-economic profiling, development priorities, and climate change projections. Kailangan po, yung sa data na nag-gather na natin, we are able to see where it will go in the future based on the data that we have. And in San Vicente, ano ba yung vina-value namin? Siyempre, abundance and natural resources. Napakaganda po ng bayan namin. Napakayaman niya sa biodiversity and natural resources. They also value health and vitality. Rural town lang naman po kami. Napakasimple rin po namin. We also value critical physical infrastructure. Roads, road networks, water systems, hospitals, access, mobility, communication, pati na rin services po galing sa LGU. Importante po yan dahil yan po ang hinihingi sa amin ng aming mga stakeholders and customers, which are our residents. And of course, social infrastructure. Ang pamilya, ang komunidad, yun po lahat ay napaka-importante at talagang those are the main things in San Vicente that that we really place importance on. So just here is a fact. San Vicente is not spared from the harmful impacts of climate change, as I've said. Increasing rainfall and temperature inflict serious damage to agriculture and fishery, the main sources of livelihood of the local people. Sa San Vicente po, sobrang lakas ng ulan. Kapag umulan, talagang torrential downpour. Yung mga bahay po na nakatira malapit sa beach, sa dagat po, talagang wash out. And this is not even pagdating ng bagyo ho, it's just rainy season. So you can only imagine what will happen if some natural disaster were to strike upon our town. And just this is a chart to show the temperature change. Alam niyo naman po yan, talagang umiinit na tayo ng umiinit at nagbabago na talaga yung klima. You know, that's a fact. And because of that, we get floods, we get landslides. Despite being out of the typhoon and the earthquake predicted areas, we experience all these changes in the climate and all its weather implications. Strong rains, flash floods, brings up landslides. Coastal flooding, ayan po kung nakita nyo, daan po yan, yung litrato po sa left. Yan po ay road namin na anuhan ng baha. Tapos yan po ay isang bahay na ano po ng flash flood. So if you can see the photo, nangyayari na po yan sa amin year after year. And then drought. Pagdating po ng time na yon, nangyayari din yan na nawawala naman ng resources. So where do we start? Learn your municipality's vulnerabilities. Para po sa amin, before the climate change came in, we didn't exactly understand lahat po ng complexities and lahat ng technical, I guess you can say, technical processes po. The climate change really came in and helped us in terms of nurturing us, letting us experience this, and also tinitraining po nila ang lahat ng mga LGU employees namin, which is really good. Kasi nandito naman sila. Talagang every month siguro nagta-travel sila para lang maintindihan na nila yung mga assessments na ginagawa. Yun nga po, vulnerability assessment, that's where you should start. And I really encourage mga mayors po na nandito and sa lahat ng mga LGU to assess the vulnerability status of your LGUs. Okay. So, ito po graph. I don't know if you can read. Medyo malabo kasi maliit na lang siya. But we can, later on po, if you have questions on how you were able to do it, we will be happy to answer. And then where to go? How does your municipality make best use of its resources, and what is the current pace of utilization sustainable? So you have to think, what are your challenges across all sectors, agriculture, forestry, coastal, and marine? What will be affected? Yun yung mga questions na dapat natin itanong. And ito lang po chart, but I don't know kung hindi siya clear, mabasa. Ito lang po yung mga challenges na nilist namin. It's cross-sectoral. Yun nga ho, may agriculture, coastal and marine, forestry, and with health. And it all plays a role and it's very integrated nga ho. So how does San Vicente naman make best use of its resources, and is the current pace of utilization sustainable? So this is another chart po showing how we want to be self-sufficient when it comes to agriculture. And we want na, so for coastal and marine, San Vicente will have significant tourism opportunities. Yun po, yung mga solutions namin. Sorry, medyo maliit talaga yung text nung sa PowerPoint. But, lastly, where to go? Based on gathered science-based assessments, what are the viable options in place for your town to adapt to climate change? Again, it's site-specific po, so it varies from town to town. We have to be able to prioritize what adaptation measures we're going to be using. What are your implementation capacities and limitations? Kailangan malaman din po natin kung ano yung kakayahan natin bilang LGU. And then this one is, what are the viable options in place for San Vicente to adapt climate change? Pinaka-importante talaga yung technical infrastructure with all sectors, agriculture, coastal, marine, and health. When you have the technical infrastructure to be able to adapt to these measures, it will really help po your LGUs. And then, yan din po, governance and politics. Sinabi ko naman po kanina, kailangan kayo po ang magli-lead para po sa mga initiatives na gagawin po natin. And then, how can San Vicente implement the proposed tailor-made adaptation measures? We need to climate-proof the development plans. Ngayon po, we are working with Palafox with master planning. Now, I don't know if other LGUs here have done a master plan. Pero sa San Vicente po, gusto na namin i-integrate sa master plan namin ang climate-proofing projects and climate-proofing initiatives. It has to be integrated. And then, and just looking ahead, Eco-Town Framework, climate change resilience, and green growth, these are all factors that you want to include when you develop po your towns. Okay? Kasi, again, we are very vulnerable. I will continue to say that on and on, that we are very vulnerable and we need to act today. So yun na po yung presentation. Thank you. Sana naman po may natutunan kayo sa presentation for San Vicente. Alam ko marami pong technical doon, so sorry po kung medyo dense yun. But okay, ito na po yung question ko para naman po sa inyo na gustong bumisita sa aming bayan. Sana naman po nakinig kayo, napakadali lang po ng question ko. Whoever can give me the correct answer, akit na lang po kayo sa stage, bigay niyo sa akin, and you will win an all-expense paid trip for 3 days, 2 nights to Palawan. Ready na kayo? Ready na kayo? Okay, so for San Vicente, dalawa po yung tanong ko. Ilang hectares ang buong San Vicente? Punta kayo dito kung gusto nyo. Sino po? Lapit kayo dito. Sige. Naku, ayan. Naku, dalawa pa sila. Huwag kayong magtulakan, ha? Okay. So, dalawa. Kuya, what's your name?
I'm Jerry C. Mosquito from Nueva Vizcaya.
Nueva Vizcaya. And taga-LGU ka doon?
UNESCO po.
UNESCO. And kayo naman po, sir?
Melvin Sagmar from Eastern Samar Region 8.
Okay. Taga-LGU po kayo? Okay. So, dalawa po yung question ko. Kailangan pareho yung masagot, ha? Okay. So, huwag mo na tingnan. Huwag mo na tingnan. Dapat wala kayong notes. Alright. Oo nga, may mga kodigo pa kayo. O, tama na. Harap na kayo sa audience. Gusto natin ng honest answer. Ilang hectares ang San Vicente?
165,797 hectares.
Tama po ba? Balik naman tayo dun sa slide. Can we go back to the slide? Tama ba yung sagot niya, kuya? Ano yung sa inyo?
757 sa lahat, yung katapusan. 165,757.
O, siya naman, 165,757. Yung sa'yo, 165.
797.
797. Tingnan nga natin. Konti lang yung pagkakaiba eh. Paano yung paghatian nyo yung trip, kayong dalawa na lang pumunta? Talaga? Friends kayo? Talaga? Kayong dalawa? Ayan, saan na ba yun? Okay, wait lang. Tingnan natin yung ano. There you go. 165,797. Ano po yung sinabi mo, kuya? 5, okay. Hindi, kasi dapat dalawa kayo nandito. Pareho kayong magkakaroon ng trip to Palawan for 3 days, 2 nights. Congratulations. Palakpakan po natin sila. Para naman makita ninyo kung paano namin pinapractice yung Eco-Town Framework at ano yung mga initiatives na ginagawa po namin sa San Vicente. Okay, so mamaya kunin niyo yung information ko. Next year na yan, ha? Huwag kayo mag-ambisyon ng Christmas. Next year, okay? Next year, January or Feb. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Okay. Thank you. Thank you po sa inyo. Sana po nag-enjoy kayo. And for those who haven't gone to Palawan, I really encourage you to visit our beautiful province. Okay, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat at salamat.
Thank you, Mayor Pai. And tama yung concern na ni-raise niya kanina, especially when talking to the people na, aanhin ba namin yung climate change? Hindi naman namin makakain yan. But at the end of the day, like also the people I've met from Palawan, alam niyo ba, nagturo pa sa akin kung bakit daw mas magandang ecotourism kaysa sa blast fishing, mismong fisherman. O, di ba? Sila mismo, alam na nila yung value ng ginagawa nila for protecting the environment, that it will also give them livelihood. And at this age, we have a lot of access to information, but how do we manage all the information that we get from different sorts of media? At this point, I'd like to call on our next speaker who will share with us the important role of media in getting us Filipinos informed. I have the pleasure to introduce to you the CEO of Rappler, Miss Maria Ressa.
Change starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than
Good morning. Okay, you heard how PI deals with climate change in San Vicente. Let me make it very real and very personal to each of you in the room. At some point in time, people you know and love will come to you for help. And the decision you make will determine whether they live or die. If you're not prepared, many people will die. If you prepare, you will help save them. Ganung kasimple lang po. Let me show you a little bit of what we can do with information. Bayanihan po. It's something we've talked about in the Philippines forever. It's part of our culture. Pero ngayon po, we can use technology in different ways. And yung online technology, crowdsourcing, yung technical term po, is actually bayanihan. But the 20-somethings bayanihan. Let's start. I just want to tell you first about Rappler and how we changed it to take this technology. Because you can do the exact same things. Governor Joey Salceda in Albay uses his Facebook page, right? You can use social media. It's so easy. And I'll just show you what we did in Rappler. You can take what you need from it. The first is when we created Rappler, I'm a traditional journalist. I've been a journalist all my life. For more than 30 years, I did traditional television. But yet, around 2005, 2006, 2007, I began to see so many things changing. And I began to see the power of social media. So ito ho ang ginawa namin. In Rappler, we created something completely new. And that's the other good part. As danger's coming closer, we have new tools that the generation before us didn't have, that we can use to make ourselves stronger, we can use for climate change adaptation. Rappler is a completely new world. It comes from the word rap, to talk, plus ripple, to make waves. 3 circles ho ang Rappler. The first is us. The professional journalists are still there. The second circle is technology. And you'll see some of this. I'll show you what we did with both Pablo and Yolanda. And then the last circle is us. The wisdom of crowds, crowdsourcing, ika nga, bayanihan. Ito po yung lahat ng tao, each of us taking one small step, that together we will do something that we couldn't have done alone. And that's how we need to work if we want to help fight disasters. Because it will be a never-ending fight. Every year there are at least 20 typhoons, and your city, Metro Manila, where we're standing right now, the storm surge is close enough to touch us. Metro Manila is the second most vulnerable city in the world. So again, you've heard people say it. It's going to happen. The only thing we can do is prepare for it. Why am I here? Because I'm scared. And I'm here to try to help. Not just you, but me, my family, right? So we need each other. This is where Rappler is. Sa sentro ho, and these are the technological changes you can use. You can create your content if you want to warn people, if you want to teach people what storm surge is about, if you want to tell people where the safest areas in your community is. You can write that on your Facebook page, like Joey Salceta does, and then you can amplify it on social media. When you amplify on social media, you can tap crowdsourcing, online bayanihan, and when you do that, you create something we call big data. When you have that big data, you can actually see patterns before reality hits. What does that mean? Well, this is Rappler, and every single part, every story has this mood meter. Why do we put a mood meter? Because in the end, it's not what you think that moves you to act. Even if we tell you storm surge, tsunami, it doesn't matter. It's how you feel. The neuroscientists tell us that 80% of how we make decisions in our life is not based on what we think, it's based on how we feel. So every story on Rappler has a mood meter, and that mood meter, in a 24-hour period, every vote is aggregated in the mood navigator in the middle of the front page. That crowdsources the mood of the last 24 hours. And then you can actually take all of those votes, those crowdsourced votes for how you feel, and you can look here at the month of May in moods. Tingnan niyo po, this is the way we felt in May. And in general, we were 77% happy in May. Bakit po? Parang yung election ho made us happy. If you take a look, that green, that's happy, red is angry, purple is annoyed. The green, that's leading up to election day where you see the arrow. But then look at May 13th. Go ahead. That is May 13th. We got angry. Why did we get angry? Pinoys are very quick to anger. The vote results were slow. Ang bagal po ng balik ng mga PCOS machines, di ba? So, Pinoys got angry. And then we got very happy when the results, the winners for senator were announced. Look at that high peak further down. Go ahead. It's this next peak. Keep going, keep going. Next one. There you go. That's when the senators were announced. And then look at the peak at the end of the month of May of red. Do you remember what happened at the end of May that made us collectively angry? Hindi po siya eleksyon. Tungkol po siya sa sinabi ng isang komedyante, Vice Ganda and Jessica Soho. We don't remember it, but our moods remind us. That's that red line. It angered Filipinos. It annoyed Filipinos when that happened. So you can see that's big data. Let me show you what big data really is. The next slide shows us the social media big data. And this happens, right? ComScore in 2010 said the Philippines is the social media capital of the world. On Facebook, globally, more than 10 million photos are uploaded every hour. We click a like button or leave a comment nearly 3 billion times a day. Let's look at YouTube. While I'm speaking to you, 800 million monthly users upload over an hour of video every second. So every second I'm here, there's an hour of video that's uploaded. And finally, on Twitter, the number of tweets grows around 200% a year. By 2012, it exceeded 400 million tweets a day. Big data po yun. So what can you do with that? You can do a lot of things with that. And I'll show you some of the things that were done with big data for disaster risk reduction. Ito po ay 2012, December of 2012. The worst typhoon globally of 2012 hit the Philippines. It was also a Category 5 storm. The world knew it as Typhoon Bofa. Ang tawag po natin ay Pablo. Right? It hit Catail. It hit parts of the country that never had typhoons, that didn't really have typhoons like this. This is a map. This is a chart that was made by UN. The UN OCHA asked digital humanitarians, volunteers around the world, to just take the tweets that we Filipinos put online, the tweets asking for help using the hashtag ReliefPH, RescuePH. And what they did is they geotagged it, and then they categorized and they mapped it. And they did it while we were asleep. They did it in 12 hours. In 12 hours, they gave this map to the first responders. More than 20,000 tweets mapped, categorized, showing you what happened. You can't move that fast. Our government bureaucracy, our institutions can't move that fast because you have processes in place. But bottom-up civic engagement, the people, volunteers all around the world can do this. Nung nakita po namin to, sabi namin, we can do a lot of things with social media. So let me show you what we started working on. And we launched it yesterday with the Climate Change Commission. Let's go to the website. It's called Project Agos. Everything you need to know, your hazard maps, how you react, how you find the places that are safe. If you need help, what are the laws? They're all there. You can click, there are 3 areas: before, during, and after. Before, to prepare. That includes the hazard maps that you need. It includes how you talk to each other about it. It includes how you can use social media. There are lots of articles there that you can look at. And it breaks it down based on a national level, a community level, and a personal level. How each of us wants to know, how can we take care of our families? After we take care of the people we love, how can we take care of our community? And if we do those, then we'll take care of our nation. The next is during, while it's happening. How do we respond? And in this, you can see if you click Respond Now on Rappler, it'll bring you to the DSWD relief map. It may not load. It takes a while to load here. But it will show you right now, DSWD has great records. But you may not get that information. Now you have it. You can see where they're bringing relief. You can see how they're planning. By being more transparent, others in the private sector can look at that and see where they want to come in and help. And those who are in government local government and national government can see where they can help, right? And then the last part is the part that we forget, but it's recovery. Tacloban, the areas hit by Yolanda have a long period of recovery ahead. How can we do this in the best possible ways? There's stories there. Let me show you, I talked about how you can use social media, right? I want to show you a 1-minute video that shows you what we can do. And we started looking at this after Typhoon Pablo. Let's play that video. That's a real video from Pablo. And the person who typed help is on the way. Sana po yun po ang not just the first responders, the police and military, pero sana rin po LGUs, local government units. Our law says that there are 1,800 local government units who are in charge of disaster response. You don't have the military and the police, but you can use them, you can help them if you're working closely with them, right? So our goal is, when people need help, and we tried this in several typhoons before Yolanda, when people need help, they use the hashtag RescuePH. They can put it on cell phone, they can send it to a number, they can put it on Twitter, they can put it on Facebook. The program we created scours social media and dumps it on the map. And then we share that with the first responders. And they go in and they can type in. You'll have your own login. We'll show you more about this in the next few months, but this is something we hope you can use. We're building it because we believe we need it, and it's there for you. Now let's look at the next step, which is Yolanda. Ito po ang view. This is what Yolanda looks like from space as it was hitting the Philippines. Grabe siyang tignan, di ba? From space. So, this is what it did on the ground. But we didn't know what happened there because for more than 24 hours, all communication was cut off with those areas, right? I sent 2 people, and they went near Giwan, where Yolanda first made landfall. And I want to show you their pictures because I didn't know whether to hug them or choke them. But Paterno Esmaquiel and Franz Lopez went to the town of Borongan. They wanted to go where Yolanda was going to hit land. And starting Thursday night, remember the typhoon hit early Friday morning, 8:30 to 10 o'clock, mga ganun siya. The storm surge ended in Tacloban around 10 a.m. But starting around midnight of Thursday, we lost touch with our boys. And we didn't hear from them for, what happened? We panicked like everyone else, right? And I knew firsthand that if we cannot reach the people we care about, we go crazy. Frances' mother went a little bit crazy. So what can we do? Those were the questions. Friday, we heard no word from them. We didn't know whether they were alive or dead. Saturday, we knew anarchy had started to happen in Tacloban because I immediately sent Rupert Ambil, our tech guy, into Tacloban with the first C-130s, and he came in with DSWD, with OCD. No word. We heard by Saturday night, And that's when the looting started, if you remember, right? We heard that they were alive. They were seen by the GMA7 team. But we could not talk to them. We couldn't reach them for another 2 days. On Sunday, I looked for every way to get them out. Ship takes 36 hours. Land, the roads weren't passable and security was bad. Air, I hired a helicopter to come in and get them on Sunday, but we couldn't communicate with them. They finally, after the cell site, so we know how dependent we are on cell phone, on telcos. We had a sat phone with Rupert. He couldn't find them. On early Tuesday, the cell site went up. We found out they were on a bus. They took the Roro. They were on their way back, and they made the long road. They made a long trip back. It took more than 24 hours to get from Borongan to Manila. And while they were on the bus, they started to put together what they saw. The first video they uploaded, I want you to see it. It's this.
Dito tiba, dito ligid.
Nawagan ako sa akong mga kamag-anak, akong mga kapatid, akong anak nandoon man sa Manila. Ay, mahukod ba kay Baruhira din Hindi pa alam. Nandito akong tatay na ipitan. Bato, malaking bato. Hindi alam na.
Kasi nandun po sa Manila.
Nandun na sa Manila. Hindi alam yun nga. Naipit ng iyang tatay.
Anong panawagan niyo po sa asawa po ninyo?
Gusto ko lang ipaalam sa kanya na kahit anong tawag niya sa amin, hindi niya kami makontak kami ng mga pamilya ko. Kasi wala ngayon, hindi ko po alam kung kailan magkakasignal at saka wala na kami mga cellphone. Wala na kami makontak, matawagan.
Gusto kong manawagan kay presidente na makarating talaga itong istorya dito sa kanya. Alam ko na hindi lang ito ang tinamaan. Yan talaga ang ko. Panalangin na makarating sa kanya. Dahil gusto kong matulungan ang mga kapatid ko, kawawa sila.
Parang nakaasa na lang po kami sa mga taong tutulong talaga sa amin. Yung mga taong may malasakit, yung mga taong may awa sa amin. Doon na lang po talaga kami aasa sa tulong nila.
You need to see faces of people you love in the faces of the victims of Yolanda. Because that could be me, that could be you, that could be someone you love. That's how important it is. I want to show you how we reacted. Bayanihan online. And this is something that was built not by a Pinoy, but by Jacob Rockstatter. He created something for Yolanda PH. And what we did, Move PH, began to work with Patrick Meyer, who started Ushahidi. He's based in Doha. We worked with someone else in London. We worked with another person in Germany. And together they were helping us with this. But look at what you can do with social media. Let's go to the Yolanda tweets, the website of the Yolanda Tracker. So let's look at this. Will basically show you all the tweets from an area that's geotagged. Can you click one of the circles? Let's click Giwan, which is where it first hit land. So let's look at the location mapper for Giwan. Click it. Oh, Mati. Hindi mo mahanap ang Giwan, Dominic. Nandun pa ang Giwan, promise. Ganito, pull out, yes. You're going into the Pacific. It's this one. Yeah. Mercedes, Dominic. O, ganito na lang. You get the idea, right? You can click if you know somebody, if you want to know what's happening in whichever part. Click on another one, Dominic. There we go. Keep going. Pull out, pull out. So basically, what Yolanda Tracker does, the crisis tracker, looks at all of these places where tweets are coming from, and it will serve it to you like big data. Click again, Doms. Okay? So you can scroll down and look and see if there's anyone who has more information. You can contact them. Now let's go back to the site itself, and I want to show you the other thing that the crisis tracker does, which is actually pretty cool. You don't have it, Doms. You can explore this yourself, but what it will do is it clusters the conversations automatically, like big data. And it will show you, click that right here. The link, up on top, there. No, on top. See that click? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so these are the stories that are live right now, right? So it's real time. Right after Yolanda, this was so busy. More than 150,000 tweets that came through. And these are the bubbles, and when you click it, you can see, right? You can see which conversations are clustered together. You'll have access to this. And as a local government unit, you'll have a login that you can go in, and you can talk to each other on the Project Agos platform. If you need help in something, Move PH, you can help each other. Okay, let's go to the next. We keep going. After the crisis tracker, we then started doing things like this. Patrick Meyer, he's coming in with OCHA. He's arriving December 1. But this is done by people outside of the Philippines. They categorized and mapped the tweets. There were so many, they were only able to do 5% of it. But if we put it together with Filipinos, we can actually do it real time. Something that government hasn't been able to do, only because you do other things and you've got a hierarchy. We're online, your family, your kids can do this with us. They're called micro mappers. Okay, so that's another thing that you can do. Rescue mapping. This worked in past storms, in past typhoons, pero anong nangyari? Wala namang communications dun. So there were very few calls for rescue. It was so fast, and it cut everything down in its path. But Rappler had this, and we're working closely with the police, with the military, and you get a first responder response. Relief. It's so hard to get a list of every place that's trying to help. And what we did in Rappler is we didn't create our own. We just took what everyone else is doing and put them all on one page, segmentized by region and by city, so you can find who you want to help, who do you want to donate to, plus the national agencies that are there. Crowdsourcing, bayanihan. These are people mapping relief operations and relief needs. And when it first happened, when you zoom in, those clusters break out. And you can see here, we need food and water. You can see what people need. Eto, this worked. We crowdsourced mapping the cell signals. And you could see where the cell signal worked and where it didn't. Even if the telco said it worked, but it didn't, people mapped it. Right? So crowdsourcing, online bayanihan. And then our team decided to go back to Tacloban. They finally came home, and when I saw them, I didn't know whether to hug them or slap them. Kasi naman dapat the first thing is get to a phone or get to a place to call us. Anyway, they came back, we deployed an IP satellite van, so there's IP signal, so there's broadband, and they drove more than 24 hours from Manila to Tacloban. While they were doing that, we started a crowdsourced mapping roads and infrastructure. It works. What's infrastructure? Power, right? After you have cell signals, what else do you need? Power. So you can actually, if you drill down in this site, you can see what areas still don't have power. This is the last thing I want to show you because it's so interesting. This is Google and Facebook working together with Rappler to help search for the survivors of Yolanda. So what happened is Google has a person finder, but it's just, you just type in a person you're looking for, but it won't give you a list of names that are there. We asked them to have the ability to actually get the list so we could give it to DSWD, and at the same time, we wanted to connect it to Facebook. Why? Because Facebook has that facial recognition software, right? And if we're friends, if I have a picture or I post a picture, when you look at my Facebook page, it'll tell you who it thinks it is among your friends or your family. So what we did is we simultaneously, Facebook sent 4 people to help code it, Google sent someone to help code it. We were working with them through Friday, Saturday, and this is what you have. We sent Zach Yuson, who heads Move PH, to Tacloban to take photos of the survivors, of people who were there who still couldn't reach their family, their relatives. And then we just posted the pictures. You can search for them. Another thing we can do if it's hard to contact the people you love. In the tsunami in Indonesia, in Thailand, they had a bulletin board of faces, of pictures. We can do it online with Google and Facebook. So this is something, it's up on the Rappler page. I'm gonna end with just telling you what our team, what they did when they drove back into Tacloban. And let's go to the blog. I asked them not just to write normal stories, but to keep a blog. And this blog maps where they went. You know, just keep posting things that they saw, how they felt while they were doing it. And I just want to leave you with this to help you think through. It's a prayer that Paterno Esmaquel put on the blog. And it made me think, and when I read it, it made me cry. But you can see what the point is, why we do this, and why Paterno wanted to go back into Tacloban after he had gotten home to his family. This is that same page, right? Oh, it's hard for me to read it. Sorry, I'm gonna run in the back and I'll read it for you so you can look at it. Paterno, when he already got into, wrote the blog. Can I see it? The blog itself. Okay, this is what he wrote, the prayer before meeting Hayan's victims again. I took this road 2 days ago on the way back to Manila. I traveled with our cameraman, Franz Lopez, after being stranded in typhoon-hit eastern Samar for 4 days. Now we're covering Tacloban and surrounding areas. I pray for the grace to help the people we meet. I pray for the strength, intellect, and heart to do justice to their stories. And I pray for stories that inspire and uplift, that bring hope and not only despair. Please pray with us as we make this long journey. I hope we can help you too in any way. Amen. That is the challenge of climate change. That is the challenge for all of us. And you are the ones who will help us do it. You are the ones in the front line. I wish you great strength, great courage, and we will do all we can to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Maria Ressa. Please stay with me here on stage, Ms. Maria Ressa. And I also